LEGO Builder's Journey is an atmospheric puzzle game that was developed by Lightbrick Studio and released on June 22, 2021. I've been waiting to play this game for quite a while now, mainly because of the graphics and the overall vibe it gave me, so I bought it basically the second it released. Note here, I will be spoiling the game, so if you haven't played the hour-and-a-half game, or you don't want to know the story for some reason, then just leave. Alright, here's the story. The game starts out with a dad and his little boy returning home from a journey. You're playing as the boy, and you need to build paths for yourself and your dad out of Legos. Well, I guess they're not really boys. They're just kind of Lego dudes. But I'm a boy, so, like psychology, I guess. I assume most people would have a different idea of it. Anyways, the game has really simple rules. Like, you can only move on the specified movement brick that you always have, and you can only place Legos where studs are. So you do these puzzles, and soon you get to your home and start to build a little sandcastle type thing with your father. Eventually he's called away to what seems to be his job, so you get bored and decide to build a robot, which takes you on a bit of an adventure. Somehow you end up in the weird parts of the factory your dad works in, and you have to do all these increasingly difficult but still intuitive puzzles, so you can escape. Soon enough you find your dad, but then you get separated again, and you go through more and more puzzles as you try to reconnect, and finally, you do! And then you sail back home on a helicopter that you made, eventually getting back and finishing that sandcastle you were working on at the beginning of the story. Now there's a lot more nuance and about an hour of gameplay to the story, but I don't care to tell you, go play it yourself. This entire story and world is made up fully of Legos, and combined with ray tracing, it's graphically stunning. All of the lighting is real-time ray traced, and it makes the world feel so immersive. Speaking of immersive, the sound design is so good. So good, everything just sounds right. Even though there's no dialogue, it's not a quiet game. And the music, which you're currently listening to, is incredible as well. Henrik Lindstrand, the composer, did an amazing job with this soundtrack. And another thing that adds to the immersion is that even though the world is all bricks, it's animated. It's all very animated. You'll see rushing water that reacts to your mouse cursor, as well as mud that bubbles up and pops, all within the confines of Lego. The physics engine is incredible, with the way the bricks interact with the world as you throw them around and place them into specific spots. It's also interactive, and the puzzles really do add to that. Multiple times throughout the game, I found myself solving a puzzle a certain way, only to realize I was doing it wrong, 3/4 of the way through. But it still worked. For example, there was a puzzle where you could replicate any brick you put on this one spot, so I put my little movement brick there and used that to solve the puzzle. But right before I got to the end, I realized there was another brick that I could have used that would have made the whole process so much faster, but my idea still worked. And that was a consistent thing throughout the game. It was constantly giving me different options and allowing me to be creative with the way I solved these puzzles. Now that's not a thing you see often in puzzle games, and I really appreciated the way Builder's Journey handled it. Overall, I genuinely haven't had this much fun playing a single-player story game since Portal 2 came out. And maybe that's just my nostalgia speaking. I was a big Lego kid. But I think the story really has this appeal to a lot of people. I feel like it's a common experience for kids to want to play with their parents, but they can't. Or maybe you're being an annoying piece of shit so they don't want to. Who cares? It's relatable. And not only that, it's beautiful too. I would definitely recommend playing it if you haven't. There's so much more to the game I didn't mention here, and it really was a great experience to have on a nice sunny Tuesday morning. On that note, I think that's it for me. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to me. If you hated the video, subscribe to me. You're just a number. Also, if you could leave a comment letting me know how cool and funny and woke I am, I would really appreciate that as well. Thanks for watching. Bye!